I never thought I'd be in a situation where I had to explain to my wife why it was inappropriate for her to spend the night at another man's place. Yet there I was, standing in our kitchen, staring at her like she'd just suggested I burn our house down for fun. "It's not a big deal," Emily said, rolling her eyes. "Ryan and I have been friends since college. You know that. He's going through a rough time, and he needs support. It's just one night." "One night?" I repeated, stunned. "You want me to be okay with my wife sleeping over at another man's apartment while I sit here alone?" She crossed her arms, her tone sharp. "God, Michael, you are so selfish. This isn't about you. This is about me being there for a friend who's struggling." Her words hit me like a slap. Selfish. That's what she called me. For wanting basic respect in our marriage. "Emily," I said, trying to stay calm. "There are a dozen ways to support him without spending the night. Invite him over here. Take him to dinner. Hell, call him on the phone for hours if you need to. But you don't cross that line." She scoffed. "You're being dramatic. Nothing is going to happen. You really think so little of me." I clenched my jaw. "This isn't about whether I trust you. It's about what's appropriate. A married woman doesn't sleep over at another man's place. Period." Emily grabbed her bag, clearly furious. "You just want to control me. You can't stand the idea that I have male friends." "No," I said firmly. "What I can't stand is being disrespected. If you go through with this, Emily, it's going to change how I see this marriage." She froze for a second, like she hadn't expected me to draw a line. Then she stormed out of the kitchen and slammed the bedroom door. I stood there in silence, staring at the floor, my heart pounding. For the first time since we got married, I realized we weren't just fighting about a single night. We were fighting about boundaries, trust, and what it meant to be partners. The next day, Emily was cold and distant, barely saying a word to me as she got ready for work. I could feel the tension radiating off her, but I stayed quiet. I wasn't going to beg her to see my side. Not this time. That night, I noticed she was texting more than usual. Her phone kept lighting up with messages, and each time, she turned it slightly away from me. "Ryan?" I asked, keeping my tone neutral. She glared at me. "Yes, Ryan. He's upset, and now I can't even talk to him without you acting suspicious." "I'm not acting suspicious," I said evenly. "But you have to admit, the timing of all this looks bad." She rolled her eyes. "You're paranoid." I didn't argue. I just nodded and let it go. At least on the surface. But my gut told me something was off. Later that week, I had to work late. When I got home, Emily's car wasn't in the driveway. I walked inside to a dark, empty house. Something told me to check the Find My Phone app we used when one of us misplaced our phones. Her phone's location popped up on the map, and it wasn't anywhere near where she said she was going. My chest tightened as I saw the address. Ryan's apartment. I sat down on the couch, staring at the screen. She hadn't just gone to support him. She had lied to me to get there. An hour later, the front door opened. Emily walked in, looking surprised to see me still awake. "You're home," she said flatly. "Yeah," I replied, holding up my phone. "Want to explain why this says you were at Ryan's place?" She froze, her face a mix of guilt and anger. "I knew you'd do something like this," she snapped. "You don't trust me at all. You're pathetic, Michael. You're turning into some jealous, controlling husband who needs to know where I am every second." I stared at her, stunned by the venom in her voice. "Emily, you lied to me. This isn't about control. It's about honesty. You said you weren't going over there, and you did. How do you expect me to trust you when you do that?" Her silence was deafening. Emily finally broke the silence. "Nothing happened," she said, but her voice lacked conviction. "Then why lie?" I asked quietly. "Why sneak around instead of just telling me the truth?" She didn't answer. She just dropped her bag on the counter and walked past me into the bedroom. I sat there for a long time, my mind racing. This wasn't about a single night at a friend's place anymore. This was about respect. The next morning, I made a decision. I called her parents and asked them to come over that evening. Emily was furious when she found out. "Are you seriously dragging my parents into this? What is wrong with you?" "What's wrong," I said, "is that I'm done having this conversation in circles. If you think I'm being controlling, then let's lay it all out in front of people who love you enough to tell you the truth. When her parents arrived, Emily sat on the couch with her arms crossed, looking like a teenager about to get grounded. I calmly explained everything. The sleepover request, the argument, the lie about where she was, the late-night visit to Ryan's apartment. Her father's expression darkened. "Emily, is this true?" Emily squirmed but finally nodded. "Yes, but it's not what it looks like." Her mother cut her off. "Emily, married women don't spend the night at other men's homes. Your husband isn't being controlling. He's asking for basic respect." Emily's face flushed red. For the first time, she didn't have a snappy comeback. I stood, feeling a strange calm wash over me. "I love you, Emily. But love without respect is nothing. If you want this marriage to survive, boundaries have to be clear. No more lies. No more late-night visits to another man's apartment. If you can't agree to that, then maybe we're not on the same team anymore." The room was silent for a moment. Emily's eyes glistened, and for once, she seemed to actually hear me. I didn't realize how far I'd pushed this," she admitted quietly. Her parents exchanged a look of relief. Maybe this marriage could still be saved, but only if she chose to change. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I had taken back control of my life.